Hey guys. How are y'all doing? I don't really know what I'm going to be doing today, but and I don't think that's a surprise because I'm still tired. I'm going to be taking next week off, so there's not going to be a stream next week. Yeah. Well, who's here? So, Blue Diamonds, Amir, Bach Keyboard. Hi. Great username. Magic Monkey G, Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Super Mommy, Pabs, Claire, Chris. Stop calling me Senpai, you terrible. He's a friend IRL. Hey, Julian. Hey, Amir. Did I say Amir? I did say Amir. I'm tired, guys. Michael, hello. Hey, Jody. How are you doing? Hey, Harry. Let's see. Hey, Lemon Crush. Welcome back. Hey, Yurei. I'm a knuckle, right? Hey, Layla. What's on my shirt? Okay, so this is the dress that I bought that is not actually really comfortable. It looks good on camera, but it's polyester and it doesn't breathe very well. I'm thinking I'm gonna give it, a run for its money. Like I'll wear it for a while and then I'm gonna put it in my donation pile. But I bought it because it's like, look at this. Is this not hilarious and amazing? Like, it gets better the more I lift it up to show you guys. Isn't it cute? So, like, on camera, this dress looks really good. But because it's so, like, striking, there's a lot of, like, contrast going on. But it's not the most comfortable. It's like weirdly not really soft. It's a very plasticky feeling. So it's one of those things that it's one of the garments that I regretted buying online because I forgot to check what it was made out of. I think that was the one garment that I was just so distracted by how cute it was that I didn't check what it was made out of. I think I would have not bought it if I knew that it was this kind of like polyester-ish material. So that's a little unfortunate. But yeah. Yeah, I know, not only a nose ring, but a bow tie. I know. This gets better. Like, it gets better as you see more of it. It's so funny. Like, I was just distracted by how funny it was. And I was like, man, that would look pretty good on camera. And it does. I'm right. It does look good on camera, but it's not very comfortable, guys. You're probably wondering, Joanna, why are you wearing it if it's not comfortable? Well, I am that cheap Asian person that really needs to make sure I don't waste money. So I'm gonna wear it for a bit. It wasn't very expensive, it was pretty cheap. Pretty hurts. Brazo, thank you for joining us today. What's the term? Beauty is pain, right? Awesome hair. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I was just lazy. I didn't put it up today, but thank you very much. I do need to trim off the ends. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's getting a little like fried down there. Yeah. Thor, school makes it impossible for you to watch. This is nearly 11 p.m. your time right now. Oh man, you are on the other side of the pond, aren't you? Thank you for joining us today, though. Speaking of that, I wanted to run this by you guys. Not that I'm asking for your permission, but if anything, because I know that those of you who are here right now, you guys are kind of my regulars. So I thought that I would make a mention to you guys what I'm thinking of doing in the next bit. I'm having to sort of reorganize again. So I reorganized my, like, how I do my schedule and stuff like that back in, I can't remember now. I think it was in the new year. So it was start of 2020. I reorganized my schedule. And then come the beginning of the pandemic, at least when the pandemic hit North America, I started these weekly streams just so we could hang out and you guys have a place to come hang out. When you're, just so, we can make you feel a little less crazy in this crazy time. So that's kind of the point of these let's hang out sessions. They're not really meant to be, there's not really meant to be any sort of program or schedule to them. Like, the only schedule is that I'm here every Thursday at 1:30. But what's happening right now is I'm starting to get a lot more students. So it would really help if some of my Thursday afternoons were open again, because as it stands, all of my Thursday afternoons are booked off for this stream. So at first it was fine because for some reason over the summer, no one wanted to have a lesson on Thursday afternoon. So it worked out that, I might as well fill my time by hanging out with you guys and also providing a place for you guys to just, de-stress, kind of take your mind off of the state of the world. So, oh, hey, Maribel. Hey, Leon. From Portland, my goodness. Are you guys doing okay there? Because I've been seeing these horrific images of the Oregon wildfires. Which, by the way, we do have wildfires here in Washington, too. As you can see, we are not evacuated, so we're fine. But some of our friends have actually been evacuated. So it is a little bit scary, but you just kind of have to wait and see what happens. The biggest complaint that we have is that there's a little bit of smoke and haze outside, but not a lot. So like the worst that's happening to us is our allergies are going insane. And if that's the biggest complaint we have, man, I am thankful. So, but yeah, so that's kind of what's going on here. But anyway, back to the whole schedule thing. I was considering either switching to every other week I'll do a stream here, but I will still do a 1 hour stream every weekday on Twitch. That I'm not changing because I'm kind of doing an ongoing multi-year project there where I'm memorizing the Iberic Concerto. So I kind of have to keep at it, right? Like, because that's kind of where I'm really developing myself and discovering things, bettering myself so I can be a better teacher. So I actually really need those practice sessions to help me get better so I don't get stagnant for my students. Here, though, this is kind of more of a hangout session. So I feel that, if I'm going to have, if I at least have 2 Thursdays per month that I can take more students, that one will free up my schedule a lot more. And 2, I can accept more students. So, yeah. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Yeah. Leon, the sky is brown and orange where you are. Oh my gosh. Man, I hope you're, like, just in terms of breathing fresh air, that, like, you have air filters at home and stuff like that. Like, oh my God. Like, it looks like the photos I've seen just looks like hell on earth, man. Like, it's terrifying. Yeah. So, house HEPA filter needs cleaning daily. Oh my gosh. But you've been binge watching my videos. Oh, I'm glad that my videos are providing some sort of getaway, I guess. But yeah, so you guys, sounds like you guys are okay with this. Like, it means that I won't be able to see you guys every single week. But at the same time, it just makes more sense for my business to be able to at least have every other Thursday to teach. And I was thinking of essentially staggering it with because I actually have every other Monday, I take it off to kind of catch up with everything. So if I have some extra editing to do or just some behind the scenes kind of paperwork to do, I can do it on those days. So I might end up staggering it with my the Mondays that I have like off. So in a way, it's kind of like I'm giving myself an afternoon off too when I'm hanging out with you guys. So maybe we'll do it that way. So wait, how did the Oregon fires happen? I know how the Southern California fires happened, but how did because Super Mommy is mentioning that there was a device, it seems. Hey, Feminine Chickpea, welcome. I'm doing okay, thank you. Some of our friends have had to be evacuated, but so far our only biggest complaint is that our allergies are going insane because of the smoke. But if that's going to be the biggest complaint we have, holy crap, I am so thankful. Hey Sigs, how are you doing? Leon, when the sun rises, the sky is orange. Oh my gosh, that is so weird, man. Brazo is asking how my performance life is going. This is my performance life. None of us really have much of a performance life. So I have decided to concentrate on practicing, right? Because I think when else is there a better time to better yourself, right? Than when you're stuck at home. So that's why I'm kind of going hard on the Twitch channel, because I think that's where I can really take advantage of this time to grow and develop. Yeah, and encourage other people to do the same too. Yeah. Oh, you guys are great. Thank you. Michael, so no, we don't do Flute Center of New York streams every month. Not once a month anymore. At least for me, I've found that that's not really sustainable. Partially it's because you do kind of have to wait for new models to come in. Otherwise you start doing repeat streams or repeat reviews, which, there's no point in doing repeat reviews of exactly the same model, right? So, I feel like, so we're doing it 4 times this year. And we've done it twice now, so we have 2 more times to go. And I find it's a lot more sustainable because, we can, it's not as much of a rush to wait for new models to come out, interesting things to come out. We don't have to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel for random things to make for you guys. We would rather make fewer content, but really good content. You know what I mean? So there is a new thing that has come out. So makes sense to start planning the next stream, which is what we've been doing behind the scenes now. So there is something new now. So doing fewer reviews a year, but due to that, we're now able to actually wait for new models to come out and stuff like that. It just makes a lot more sense. So I'm sorry if you're disappointed by that, but actually doing a review once a month was not actually sustainable forever. It was not sustainable forever. So we're going for sustainability. Do you want me to continue doing reviews or do you want me to burn out completely? Right? You get fewer, but I still keep doing them. Sustainability, that's something you have to think about, especially when you get older. By the way, I think I forgot to mention to you guys, anyone who's new here, the thing is the chat looks just fine the way it is. But for anyone who's new here, we are #NoSpamFam. So if you would not yell and scream at a person to get their attention repeatedly IRL, don't do it here. So don't repeat a question over and over and over and over and over and fill up the chat. Don't do that, please. You will be removed by our mods. And yeah, just keep it civil, and please be, if someone gives a perspective that you don't share, please don't outright shut them down. We are, I'm trying to foster a community here where we can share different ideas and different experiences and truly learn from each other. So if someone else shares a different point of view from you, I would ask that you just kind of open your heart and open your minds and your eyes to, to accept that other people experience music and experience the flute or experience other instruments differently from you. So, music is really not one size fits all, and anything to do with music is not one size fits all. So I just ask that you guys be very respectful to each other and hear each other out. All right. Don't shut each other down. So that's all I ask. Just please be respectful and be curious. Be curious though. Like if someone says something that you've never thought of, or that you previously thought that, no one could ever play the flute that way or something, ask why. Ask how, ask the whys and the hows. Don't shut people down, because you might learn something new, and it kind of shows off how beautifully unique we all are. All right, guys. So I thought I'd make a mention of that, but the mods know what to do to keep everything really nice and happy in here. Hey, Shin. Hi. How about streaming the same session on both YouTube and Twitch on Thursdays? I guess I could. But I think I want YouTube to be a place where, we can really hang out like this, just chatting, and where it's like low stress for both sides. So both for you and for me. I'm still working it out. So I don't really have a solid plan right now. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants here. Yeah. So anyway, let me take a look down here, see if anyone else has some good questions. But yeah, Marley, yes, you can ask questions. Yes. Please ask questions. I'm taking questions right now. Let's see. Spam and rice. Oh, yes, I know, man. Spam and rice. Spam fried rice. So good. Oh man. If you fry spam, delicious. All right, sorry, I'm just sorry. That was not very ladylike of me, but I want it. I have a trunk down here, so I can kind of prop my legs up. That feels comfortable. Hey, Batmanny, how are you doing? Fibonacci chickpea, thank you. Yeah, I did debate whether, because I have been feeling so tired, and I debated not doing a stream last week and this week. But what would have happened was that I would have just dropped off the face of the earth on YouTube, and you guys don't know what's going on. So I figured it was just more considerate, and I'm trying to live this life of open communication where, I don't hide what's happening to me and how I feel. And so, I'm here, even though I'm tired. I'm just, taking it easy with you guys. But yeah, I'm also very much looking forward to my staycation next week. It's a staycation. I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry, okay? I'm not irresponsible. So I'm not going anywhere. But yeah, it's definitely, I'm very tired. I thought, so like end of August, I was like feeling really tired, and I was like, man, why am I feeling so tired? Like I'm living my dream life. I'm living my dream career. Everything is going the way I want it to go. And yet I'm just so tired, and I'll wake up in the morning and be like, man, I just want to veg today. I don't want to teach. And I'm just like, okay, we need to do something about this, So I thought about it, and I realized that, so I thought that my last vacation was in March. As it happened, though, I forgot that this happened. I can't believe I forgot that this happened, but that was when the pandemic hit North America. And so we had a vacation planned in March, and then it got canceled because of the pandemic. So I ended up just working through March, and I haven't stopped working. So that actually means that my last break was Christmas 2019. So yeah, no wonder I'm tired. I've been going 9 months nonstop. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Andrew, do you not like spam? Be Wiggy, or is it Widgy? Hello. Welcome to the stream. Do I have a favorite book or resources that discusses repertoire? Okay. So that's a hard call because repertoire lists are constantly being updated. So what I actually tell people to do is use curriculums. So like ABRSM or Royal Conservatory of Music, RCM, which is Toronto based. ABRSM is UK based. And similar type of curriculums. And you can see, so they basically grade the pieces, the repertoire. So like if you are looking to study the repertoire and you just want a suggested list, a curriculum is a really great place to go to because they basically did it for you. If you look online, I think it's Jennifer Clough, I think it is, who has like an extensive list of suggested repertoire. I believe one of the Trevor Y books also has like a suggested repertoire at the end of it. I can't remember which one it is. Like maybe it's like his proper flute playing book or something like that. Proper flute playing. I will say that I certainly feel that not everything in that book is applicable to now. But it certainly gives you some very good ideas. Proper Flute Playing is one of the books that I know of. This book is kind of old and maybe there's a newer edition of it, but the Flute book by Nancy Toff, that one has a pretty extensive repertoire list too, I believe, if I remember correctly. So I hope those are some good recommendations for you. I will say that even I feel that I don't have the largest kind of knowledge of these types of books. I'm being very frank with you guys. So those are the ones that I know of. Yeah. Let's see, Marley, you've been trying to work on your middle register high notes, but been having trouble keeping a stable tone. Seems you keep hitting the lower harmonic. Wondering what could be the cause. That's 2 of 2, but what's 1 of 2? You're 2 to 3 weeks on the flute only. Oh, honey, please. Okay, if you're having trouble up there only 2 to 3 weeks in, you're fine. Okay, it takes a while to get used to those higher notes and like kind of like targeting exactly where they sit. So, okay, so what I would say is there could be 2 things happening. I won't promise that, like, and this is only coming from my experience working with students. I can't promise that these are exactly the issues that you're dealing with, but at least maybe this will give you a place to start. It could be, one, the angle of the airstream. If you angle it way too low, it doesn't matter how much you really blow into the instrument, you're gonna want to crack lower. Some flutes behave this way. And then the other thing is it could be that your air pressure is not high enough, and it's not stable in that higher air pressure up for those notes enough. So you can test it on your hand. When you're blowing into the flute, you want to maintain a steady air pressure, all right? If your air pressure drops, you're going to tend to drop into the lower octave. So you have to maintain a higher air pressure, and that has to be trained. So you have to kind of blow on your hand, get used to holding a higher air pressure consistently until the end of your breath. So hope that helps you out, Marley. Are the Hello Kitty worship to spam gods ceremony still going on in the shelf up there? Yes, yes, they are. So they're right up here. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, you should come and visit us over on Twitch. What is my favorite food and or drink? Oriana is asking me. I love this question. Okay, food, that's a hard question. For me, really anything to do with noodles. I just like the broad genre of noodles. And this can include pretty much any cuisine that has noodles. So it can be anything from any sort of Asian dish to any sort of like, you know, like Italian dish or whatever, you know, noodles, noodles of some sort. That would be my favorite food. Drink has to be coffee, 100%. This is not even coffee. Why? Because I'm older now and I can't have that much acidic stuff, and coffee is very acidic. I'm sad. I can only have it like once or twice a week without my skin going absolutely insane. I think this weekend I had it like 3 times and my skin protested by the end of the 3rd drink. Like I had 1 a day. It wasn't even like 2 in a single day. It was like 1 a day, and by the 3rd day my skin was absolutely protesting. Yeah. Oh, to be the internet age of 27. Oh, man. Magic Kichi, you like the chill chat streams. I'm glad. I like these too. It also kind of makes me feel like I'm on vacation too. Shin, you've never tried Spam. The low sodium kind is pretty good. I actually prefer the low sodium one because it's not quite as salty as the full one. So I actually prefer the low sodium one. That one is really good to me. But you know, slice it into like little thin patties. Fry them up so they're like golden brown on both sides. I prefer it more brown, actually. Like I want a nice crust on there. And then you can just put it on anything. You can even just put it over rice. It is so good. Yeah. You can put it on bread, have like a sandwich with it. Oh my gosh, so good. You can also cube it up, fry them up, and scramble it with your eggs or put it in an omelet or something. Like Spam is so versatile. It's amazing. It is amazing. Yeah. Thor is asking, do I have any tips on preparing for a masterclass even though you're suffering from gastritis? Oh no! So like stomach problems then? Am I understanding that correctly? Like gastrointestinal issues, right? Thor, that is a very specific question. And I honestly feel like you kind of need to ask a medical professional how much you should be working on the flute, you know, with these kinds of issues. I would say, like, I'm just going to tell you the first thing that I would tell a student is make sure your practice sessions aren't really long, but you can have maybe a few sessions per day, right? So maybe the longest you should go with your session is like maybe half an hour, right? But you can still do like 3 sessions of that a day. Like you just kind of space it out. You know, even within an evening, you could do a half hour of practicing and then go do something else. You know, half an hour practicing, go do something else. You can even just do that, and that's at least an hour already. So like that way you can keep working on stuff, but you don't kind of push yourself to the brink of just, you know, being totally sick and feeling totally sick. I'm so sorry you're going through that, Thor. That sounds awful. But I'm not a medical professional, so I can't really tell you exactly how hard you should be working. But really, I think it's a lot of monitoring yourself. Make sure you're not overdoing it. Yeah. Yeah, as Fibino Chickpea is saying, Listen to your body. Yeah. You know your body best. You know, except when your body decides to troll you, but you know. Yeah. Oh, Pavs. You guys are so great. Thank you for being so understanding of kind of like where I am right now. I think it's like, so this is the mistake I made, was not blocking off time to take off. I probably should have blocked off some time to take off back in June, because I think I could have gone 6 months without a break, and then do like a week off and then wait till Christmas time, you know? So I might end up doing something more like maybe every 4 months I take a break. I feel like, you know, 3 times a year is not bad if I did that. So if I did something like take a week off in April and then take a week off in August and then take 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year's in like December, January, like 4 weeks off, I think is sustainable, you know? Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about my video here in Seattle where I talk about like the 5 Starbucks in 3 blocks. Yeah, it's not actually a joke. 100%. You could be standing in one Starbucks and look across the street at another one. This is like, I am in the city that I was meant to live in. Okay, there's coffee everywhere, and I'm not just talking Starbucks. We're talking like really nice, like hipster coffee, because hipster coffee is expensive, but the hipster coffee tends to be really good. So we have a lot of hipster coffee. It's video game central here, and there's great support for the arts. So I was like, this is the place I'm meant to be. Andrew, all types of spam are not for you. I don't blame you. There is like, if you're not into that texture, you're not into that texture. Like you can't force the person to be, you know, to enjoy a texture. It's like, for example, for me, I cannot with the texture of raw banana. I cannot deal with it. If you cook it, okay, to oblivion. So we're talking like in the form of like banana muffins, so you cannot feel the texture of raw banana anymore. Or if you like fry it to oblivion, I'm okay with it. But I cannot get over the texture. I cannot get over the texture of raw banana. But the thing is, the texture of spam is still kind of there, even when you fry it up. So if you're like not into that texture, you're not into it, man. And if you're not into that kind of saltiness, you're not into it. Like you can't force someone to be into it. Yeah. Hey, Unsphered, how are you? Sorry, I'm very slow to keep up with the chat. Hey, Victor. Oh, man. Oh, you guys are fantastic. As you guys can tell, I'm not quite as tired as last week. I did get some sleep in, better sleep in this week. Although there was one day where it was just terrible. For you guys who saw me on Tuesday, that was a bad time, man. That was I think I had too much coffee on Monday, and I was just wide awake until like 3. That's what happens when you get old, guys. Yeah. Oh, Marley, you know, Marley, you've only been playing for 2 to 3 weeks. The fact that you are already talking about the fact that you're kind of feeling something is amiss in your higher notes and stuff like that, in your embouchure, that is already a level of awareness that I normally do not expect of someone who's only been playing for 2 to 3 weeks. So keep at it is what I'm saying. Like, you're already ahead of schedule. So you're good. You're good. What's Ninja Hub's up to right now? You guys could hear him in the kitchen. I think he was just washing some stuff. Probably washing a few, like a bowl or two or something like that. That's probably what was happening. Let's see. Leon, you just ordered the Trevor White book 1 to 6. Have fun with it, man. That's a good book. That's a very good book. What is the new thing at the Flute Center in New York? Michael, why are you asking for spoilers? No. I'm not going to spoil that for you. No. You guys get to know that when I do the stream. Come on. You gotta keep part of the fun of these streams is that you guys don't know what it is first, and I don't know how it plays, right? Element of surprise. I can't spoil it for you here. Come on, man. Thoughts on how to prep for the first lesson of the year? Let's see. Usually you have a piece that you've been working on, but this summer was not like any other, so you have nothing to bring. Okay, Mirabelle. In that case, be upfront. Just say, hashtag 2020, right? Okay, and just be like, 2020 has been a thing. Been very distracted and, have not prepared something for today. But you should bring a plan to the teacher and be like, this is the repertoire. So you should look for repertoire that you would like to play. If you have a recital coming up, think about what you would like to do for that recital. You can also say, hey, there's some techniques that I would like to work on, like maybe, I don't know, I'm just making this stuff up right now, vibrato, double tonguing, etc. Right? You could be like, I want to work on these things, so maybe I found this repertoire that has these things in it. The thing is, you don't want to come in empty-handed, even if you haven't prepared music, okay? So at the very least, you can be like, hey, this is my plan. What do you think? So at the very least, you guys can have a discussion during the lesson on whether or not your plan makes sense. And then your teacher can kind of tweak your plan. So you really want to approach it like a mentorship, right? So you bring like your idea of what you want to do. Then you go to your mentor and you be like, am I off my rocker? Or is there something else I'm missing? Like, am I kind of blinded in one spot or something? So I would say bring a plan, because at the very least, I think you can work that out before you go to that first lesson. At least that's what I would like, right? Like, I really appreciate it when students come to me and they're like, hey, I did not end up working on what we said we would work on, but I have a plan for what to do next. What do you think? I really like that when they do that. So that's why I'm suggesting it to you. You guys are saying it sounds like prep work for cooking out there. I think it's more like post work. So it's because we did just we soft boiled some eggs to soak in this kind of like soy sauce, etc. Marinade. So we're very excited for those. We cracked a whole bunch of them, like cracking as in we cracked the egg white part of it. So they don't look the prettiest, but they're going to be really delicious because the more cracks an egg has, the more of the marinade it kind of soaks up. It's real good. It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. Hey Finny, how are you doing? Oh, plantains. Yes. I love fried plantains. I don't know why, but they taste more like potatoes to me. Cuz they're more like of this like they're not savory, but you can season them in a savory way. I really like it. Hey Jamie. Hey Nikki. Welcome Nikki, you made it this time. Yay! Brazilian very dark roasted coffee. Oh, my goodness. Brazo. We have a chain coffee shop here that is really, really good. Brazilian coffee. Oh my gosh. See, I'm the type of person who, like, the darker the coffee is, the better it is to me. I am like a dark coffee person, so I totally get it. Oh my gosh. So good. I think I basically get like an almond milk latte, but with like the Brazilian style roasted coffee. Oh, it's so good. Ugh. when did I decide to move to Seattle? It was shortly after my master's. In fact, no, it was during my master's. I decided during my master's that I would leave. And you guys are probably wondering, like, your master's was really fast. How did you decide so fast that you would leave? So I actually took a gap year between my bachelor's and my master's. And now the gap year was not actually intended. It was because I failed my first master's audition and I decided to run away. I ran away back down to California because I was previously in Canada. So I ran away. I don't think that this is the best way to deal with things, by the way, but I was just young and naive. So I ran away and worked for a year without going to school in California, in San Francisco Bay Area. And I just kind of felt like I wasn't really, like, I felt like my career wasn't going the way I wanted it to go. Like, it was kind of going off the rails. And I just felt like I couldn't really get my footing there. And not the fault of really anyone, but it was just, I think I just didn't really fit the scene there. So I kind of already knew by the time I started my master's that I would not stay. And so during my master's was when I came up to, I think it was during the second semester of my master's, I came up here to visit the Seattle Flute Festival, which is where I made that video, the Seattle Flute Festival video. And I just kind of felt like I was vibing here. Like, I really vibed with the people here. People here seem to share my same sense of humor, interests. There was a support for the arts, etc. Lots of coffee. So I was like, these are my people. So I up and left right after the last day of my master's. I up and left and came up to Seattle. So with the support of my parents, because I wasn't making a lot of money then. Like, I can support myself now, but at that time I couldn't, and my parents very graciously supported me with the move. I finally told my mom recently that I can't believe that they believed in all my crazy shenanigans. Like, the idea of just up and moving without really knowing what you're doing and moving up to Seattle, like, that was crazy. Like, it wasn't supposed to work out the way that it's worked out now, you know? Like, I certainly didn't envision that I would be, like, in my own place, married, you know? Like, it never occurred to me that, you know, within, 5-6 years of moving here that this would happen to me, you know? So yeah, it was crazy. And I finally could find the words to tell my mom that I think they're crazy too for believing in me and, like, financially supporting me to pursue this. Yeah. By the way, I saw Leon said that the best coffee is in Selwood at the Blue Kangaroo in Portland. That sounds familiar to me. I feel like I looked this up before. I need to go visit this place the next time I'm in Portland. I love Portland, by the way. I freaking love Portland. John and I did we did a little, like, weekend trip there once, and we walked everywhere. Like, we walked until, like, the next day we felt like our feet were, like, falling off, but it was so worth it. It was amazing. And the coffee there is to die for. Portland coffee is really good. Seattle coffee is really good. So the company that I used to cater coffee, like lattes and stuff like that, it was like a full-on, like, coffee shop on wheels. The company that I used for our wedding, serves both Portland and Seattle. And I actually use that as like, I was like, okay, if they can serve the coffee snobs that live in Portland and Seattle and be a successful company, their coffee must be really good. So I didn't actually try their coffee until the day of the wedding. So the day of the wedding was the first time I tried this caterer's coffee, and dang, it was good. But I did it based on the fact alone that they served events in Portland and in Seattle. We got some coffee snobs up here, man. I wouldn't even call myself a coffee snob. I'm not advanced enough by far. By far, I'm not advanced enough. Man. Imagine, Monkichi, you can't stand the texture of blueberries. The taste, the flavor is really good though. Yeah, I get it. Texture is, Do I plan ahead a lot? You feel, Batman is asking, you feel you would be scared to have nothing planned and equally terrified to have a whole year or two planned. So I can't actually plan ahead that much because I kind of base my schedule and the way that I invoice people on it's basically because I work with a bunch of adults, all right? Like most of my students, I would say like 90% of my students, 95% of my students are adults. So I only have a very small handful that are between 16 to 18 years old. And so for a lot of these people, their schedule, the scheduling of the lesson with me actually depends on what day they have off of work. So my schedule is constantly changing. So it looks very different from week to week. So I can't actually plan ahead very far. But I will say that if you look at my schedule, the next week's schedule will not be solidified until the end of Friday. Sometimes I will have students though that will message me at the beginning of the next week and be like, hey, can you squeeze me in for a lesson? If I can, cool. If not, too bad. Has to be the next week. Like I can't help it. Too bad. If a day fills up, a day fills up. First come, first serve, you know? Flute enthusiast, no raw bananas. For you either? Being old sure beats the alternative. Jody. Oh, you guys are fantastic. Yo, I have tried frozen grapes. They're really good. They taste like candy, right? Yeah, I have tried them before. I was like, wait, have I tried them? Yeah, I have tried them. They're really good. It tastes like candy. It's actually like, you actually shouldn't have too many of them. But, oh man, they taste like candy. Oh, Victor, you want to see my mom again? Yeah, I want her on here too. We're really sad because the border is still closed. And she's up in Vancouver. So it's really tough. I mean, like we can do the Skype thing. But I think what I would really like is for her to be sitting right here. Wouldn't that be nice, guys? I want that too. Oriana, what are you asking is on the website? You mean my schedule or? Unsphered. You're asking, guess that it means that you guys we need to keep our secret too. Yeah. Yeah, don't spoil it. I have another thing planned with Unsphered Wings here over Discord. So, but some of you will know about it, but I would rather keep it. Like, come on, you have to realize, guys, part of the fun of the streamed reviews is that you guys can see my reaction firsthand, right? Because like, I can't, like, come on, I'm not gonna fake a reaction for you guys, okay? Like, that's just stupid, you know? And so if you guys want to get, if we want to get a real reaction out of me, we can't exactly spoil it for me too, right? Yeah. Leon, my videos and my live broadcasts are almost as good as a lesson. My goodness, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Danny is asking what microphone and camera can you use to record your flute performance? Ah, okay, you're trying to build a home recording studio. Okay, Danny. If you're looking to like create a home recording studio, you might actually kind of like what I've got going on here. Is it expensive? Yes. I saved up money for this, all right? So I went on eBay to scrounge for used but very popular items. Okay, so one of them is this microphone, which is the Rode NT1 kit. This uses XLR cables, and what I have off screen here is a USB mixing board. So I have this for up close recording, and then I have 2 stick microphones on the opposite sides of the room to catch the room resonance, because part of what makes the flute sound good in person is natural resonance of the room. So you want to mimic that when you record. So you get a bit of the up close, but then you also record the resonance, the room resonance. So I have basically those 3 microphones plugged into my my USB mixer. It's a Yamaha MG10XU. And those stick microphones are the Rode M5s. And they come in a pair, so you don't have to buy each one separately. They're actually paired together. And then for my cameras, I'm using 2 Panasonic GH4s. So I bought the bodies separate from the lenses. The lenses I bought from other people just trying to get rid of their old lenses. And I think these are, which ones are these? These are the 12 to 35 millimeter lenses, and they work really well. Oh, it's fantastic. They're usually really expensive, but if you get them used by other people, you can kind of knock the price down by about 50%. Yeah, I think I ended up getting them for about $400 each for the lens. And then for the bodies, it was about $400, $500 each too. Yeah, it's expensive. And so I have 2 tripods here. I have a desktop one that's a Gorilla flexible tripod. And then I have just a regular tripod on the floor here. But yeah, that's my recording setup. Right now I'm using natural light because it looks the best on these types of cameras. These are not actually DSLR cameras. These are mirrorless cameras, and they work really well for live streaming because I can go for more than half an hour and it won't overheat itself. Yeah, and just make sure that you get power adapters so that you don't have to rely on batteries if you're streaming like me. If not, just make sure that your battery is fully charged before you start recording. But yeah, I mean, I have the setup all feeding through into OBS. And because it takes a little bit more, like there's a little bit of a video lag because it takes a little bit of extra time for my computer to like essentially render the footage. So I have to delay my audio using OBS by about 225 milliseconds so that it matches. But yeah, that's my setup. It's pretty cool, pretty great. I would say that with my students, we're currently not using this setup. The only thing that we're changing for my students is I'm using my Logitech C920 camera because that one is perfectly in sync with my microphones. And I have not yet found a way to feed delayed audio into Skype. Apparently it's actually a pretty expensive thing to do. So I have yet to do more research on that. I spent already like maybe a few days researching that, and you know, I just didn't get to try out some of the solutions yet. So we'll get there though. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Leon, you would leave a certificate for me, like a gift certificate for me for the Blue Kangaroo? Come on. I mean, thank you, but that's so sweet of you. I really hope to be able to visit that someday. Blue Kangaroo, I need to remember that. Andrew, you just got his sheet music delivery from Flute Center, New York. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Street vendors with newspaper cones of shrimp for a low price in Portland. Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh, that sounds amazing. Okay, let me skip on down here. Is the new flute on the Flute Center New York's website? I don't know. I haven't checked, so I don't know. I try not to spoil these things for myself, so I will not actually go on the website to go check it out until I get the box itself, and then I need to write up the little, like, you know, the little specs that I write up for you guys. Cotton candy grapes. What? Oh, wait. I've heard of them. I have tried one. Because I think Trader Joe's was selling it before the pandemic hit. And so you know, do you guys remember when samples were a thing? We did get to try it, and it was kind of odd. I didn't hate it, but it's definitely not the taste that you were expecting out of grapes, you know? Am I ambitious enough to start my own coffee company? You would buy it? I don't know if I would do that. You know, though, I might do something like that for fun when I'm retired. Right? Like, maybe if whenever I'm retired, I could just be like, you know, whatever. Let's try doing some coffee. That would be pretty fun. Yeah, Amir. It's so I was just telling John, like, I really miss my parents because I haven't been able to see them since before the pandemic. We see each other on Skype, so we can talk and stuff like that, but it's not the same as being in person, you know? Like, it's tough. It's real tough. It's not that I can't cross the border and come back. It's more that it doesn't make any sense timing-wise because I would have to be quarantined for 2 weeks upon entering Canada, and then upon exiting Canada, I would have to quarantine again for another 2 weeks. So, I mean, I could technically teach during that time, but it's like, is it really worth a month of quarantine? You know, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I can go because citizen. So, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Leon, you like the 84,000 Hanes review? It was fun. It was so fun to just be so bougie and extra and to kind of, like, I guess, like, experience how this bougie flute wants to play, you know? Oh, man. Unsphered, your friend is gonna watch this stream. He was asking you about my setup. Okay, I asked Ninja Hubs about my setup, by the way. That's why I haven't answered you yet. My computer setup is already outdated. It's like 5 years old or so. So I would not go with my specs. Your friend is much better off doing some research out there on what to build nowadays, because you can build an even more powerful computer for the same price that we built mine 5 years ago. So specs probably for the desktop computer from me, probably not the place to go to, but I hope you got something from my setup here in terms of, like, camera and microphone and stuff. Your friend probably doesn't need to do as crazy of a setup as me. Probably does not need 2 cameras, probably does not need 3 microphones. But the base idea, I think, is around the same, where you want to have a mirrorless camera with a pretty nice lens, you know, eventually, right? Like, a lot of people just make do with a webcam, but a lot of those are, they're back ordered right now. So, you know, you could get a slightly more, a much more expensive setup, but it does look really nice. And it is connected with a video capture card by Elgato. So I have the 4K video capture card, and it just kind of all connects together. Have a little mini HDMI, micro HDMI to regular HDMI cable that connects between the camera and the capture card, and the capture card connects straight into the computer. So I don't have to have a separate capture card component in my actual desktop. It's more of an external thing. It's an external video capture card. I don't know if that means anything to a lot of you guys, but just so you know, that's what it took to have this set up. Yeah. Could I meet with my parents at with distance at an airport? Either way, one side would have to cross the border. The moment you cross the border, you have to quarantine. You know? Wait, Zach from the Try Guys has his own tea? Wait, how come I don't know this? I totally listen. Oh no, wait, I listened to the Try Wives podcast. Oh, I'm so terrible. I listen more to the Try Wives podcast than to their own podcast. And I don't I like watching their videos, but I'll binge every now and then. I won't watch all of their videos consistently. I'm a terrible subscriber. I'm 100% a terrible subscriber, but I will listen every week to the Try Wives podcast, the You Can Sit With Us podcast. Do you guys know about this? The Try Wives, the partners of the Try Guys. Oh my gosh, their podcast is so good. I love it. I love it so much. It's kind of like this, where they're just kind of chatting about random stuff, and they're just so down to earth. It's amazing. Wait, the Costco where you are, Majimon Kichu, they're doing samples again? Yo, no, they should not. Oh my gosh, right now is not the time to do samples. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no. That's a whole lot of no. Yo, what's up? What's up, Nicholas? You're here. Sorry, it took me a long time. Oh, see you later, Victor. I'm also sorry that it took me a long time to see that you had to leave. Thanks for being here. Flutes are expensive. Yeah, I know, man, Leon. You felt bougie talking about them too. Pabs, 3 mics, 2 camera, voodoo. Yeah, the tech gear, man. You guys know how much I researched. I researched and researched and researched and researched. I think about this time last year was when I really started to go pretty hard on the research, and then I didn't buy anything until the end of February, which I now realize is cutting it way close because the pandemic hit in March here in North America. Obviously, it was earlier in other parts of the world, but man, the timing was really scary now that I think of it. Filmic Pro on the Note 20 Ultra works really well. No capture card necessary. Really now? Well, there you go. Unsphered, you might want to tell your friend that if they have a Note 20. You guys like the Try Guys too? Yeah, they're funny. They're really funny. I feel like they're really fun to watch, especially when you're just a little tipsy. Am I allowed to say that? Here, am I allowed to tell you guys that sometimes I get tipsy? Ooh, Joanna's an adult. What did they talk about in the podcast? The You Can Sit With Us podcast by the Try Wives? Everything. A lot of it is very kind of woman-centric. So it's kind of just life as a woman, different aspects. So everything from being a mom, because Ariel's a mom, obviously. Ariel and I think is one of their producers or something, does this podcast with them. She's also a mom. So there's 2 moms, and then the other 2, one is married and the other is engaged. And so they kind of talk about like just kind of life, just life things. Very, but it's just, I really like their perspective on things. It's fantastic. Zydeco T. Okay. You don't know why Matt isn't included. Oh, they actually talked about why Matt's not included. So Matt apparently was the one who came up with the term tri-wives, I think. So they have their own group thread, but he just didn't want to be part of the podcast. They did mention this in the podcast, like one of their earliest podcasts. They mentioned that Matt just didn't want to be part of the podcast, but he totally is one of the tri-wives. Yeah. Hanging and lurking. Nicholas, you'll be active on Twitch later. Excellent. Especially while I'm working through the eBear. Oh my gosh, I had a brain fart for a moment there. All right, you're gonna go now, Amir. See you later. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's so nice to have you here. I know, wow, right? Feminine Chickpea didn't know I was human. Some people, I do realize that some people, I think, don't realize that I'm just a very completely normal human being. And I do completely normal human being things. I remember one of my first streams near the beginning of the pandemic, someone asked me something about like something about like what do you do on the weekends, like with clearly the assumption that I like lived a really bougie life or something. I hope you guys know how boring my life actually is. I love it. I'm not saying it's bad. I love my boring life, but there's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about my life. And so I remember answering this person and saying, I get the feeling you think I do rich people things on the weekends. Like, I do chores. We clean the house on the weekends. Like, I mean, what else do you want me to say? As long as it's past 4:20, I can be tipsy. All right, see you on Twitch, Super Mommy. Yes. See, my friend Chris here, ICEVV here. Yes, he can confirm IRL that I'm not a robot. Yeah, he's a friend IRL. Yeah. All right, see you later, Mirabelle. If you're still here, be sure to join us over on Twitch sometime. I would love to see you there. Yeah, Matt does show up in some videos though. You know the one where I think it was the Tri-Wives, there was like a cooking thing that they did where the Tri-Guys picked out random ingredients for their partners to cook with. And of course Eugene picked all alcohol. And Matt's part of that video. He like was like his part of the video was straight up like a cooking show. Like he like knew what he was doing. Yeah. The mystery cooking box challenge. Yeah. So Matt does show up and stuff. It just sounds like he doesn't want to show up all the time, right? Which fair enough. I mean, you got to respect the dude, right? If only your students knew that you are currently sitting in Christmas dinosaur pajamas eating a Milky Way with a cat on your lap watching YouTube. Andrew, I know, right? Like, I find that a lot of people weirdly, like, dehumanize, without realizing it, people in authorities, people, like, their teachers, people online, content creators like myself. Like, I wouldn't say I'm famous. I wouldn't say that. But, like, I definitely am an online content creator. And the weirdest part is that a lot of people kind of dehumanize content creators. Like, a lot of people forget that we're just 100% human. It's weird, man. It's a really weird life to live. So, you know, I've decided to confront it and be like, no, I'm normal. And you guys, like, if you didn't think I was normal, then, you know, slap of reality for you. Oh, Fibonacci chickpea, you weren't here when I showed this earlier. Okay. Let me show you. It gets better. It gets better the more you see. So, I mean, this is already amazing, right? Glasses on a cat. Okay. There's a nose ring on the cat. And he's in a bow tie. I mean, could I really resist buying this even though it's made out of polyester, apparently? No. This thing's amazing. It gets better the more you look at it. It's fantastic. One of your favorite quotes of mine is, I'm just another girl on the internet. Yeah, I really am. Like, I'm just a normal person, but I just happen to make online content. That's it. Yeah. The cat is in drag as RuPaul. It gets better the more you look at it. Like, there's more and more, like, wacky things happening in here. Like, come on. Could I really resist buying this? I think it was really cheap, too. It was like $15 or something for this. So I was like, I can't pass this up. Or was it like $10? I don't know. It was like really, really inexpensive, which is probably why it's not exactly made out of the most comfortable material. But I was thinking maybe in the future, if I'm not lazy, I can buy better material, like softer material, maybe a similar pattern. And what I noticed is that this thing is actually just straight up sewn on. It's like really wide stitching too. And it's like the most haphazard sewing too. Like it's actually really quite terribly done. But like I was thinking maybe one of these days I can seam rip this cat off, remake this dress in a better material, and then re-sew it back on. Right? I feel like I should do this. Cause like there's also, I don't know which part is it. Is it like this part or is it this part? Yeah, I think it's this part. Like right here, this is like the most sloppy sewing ever. Like they didn't actually catch the edge of this into the strap. It's really messy sewing. Like the workmanship on this is horrible, but it's so good. Like this is so good. So I'm thinking, yeah, I was just noticing earlier, I was like, wait a second, I could just seam rip this off and sew it onto another one. I could put this cat on my gray full length sleeve dress. The gray one? Or you mean the blue one? Because I really, so what I like is the general cut of this garment, the general pattern, right? So like maybe what I can do is one of these days I can just basically deconstruct the whole thing, use this as a pattern and cut it out of like much better material, maybe some sort of cotton or something like that, you know, something soft. And breathable, because this is not breathable, man. This is not breathable whatsoever. My goodness. But I was thinking that would be a really fun project. Yeah. Like a plastic pink flamingo on the lawn. It's so bad but so good. And like it's like I think that the spectrum of like bad to good in terms of design is actually more like a circle, right? So like it at one point I feel like this got so bad it dipped back into good, like right? Like it's, the more you look at it, the more you're like, that is wacky, that is absolutely wacky. It's so great. It also looks great on camera too. Oh my gosh, Batman, you also think sewing is really relaxing? Yeah, I love sewing. I have a sewing machine like right there. The last thing I sewed were our face masks. And I really need to get one of those you know, the knit fabric foots, you know, the ones that can, the walking foot. That's what I need to get. So I need to get a walking foot so that, you know, my machine doesn't just eat up t-shirt material, you know, like stretch t-shirt material. Yeah. Few people can pull this off and make it look bougie. Oh, come on. No. It's very easy to pull this off. It's very easy to pull this off. I assure you, this dress just makes itself. Like the cat really just kind of makes it, you know. Look, that's why I was thinking, like, you know, when I get sick of this dress and I want to remake it again, I really should just seam rip the cat off. Like, I think I should. I think I should just seam rip it off and put it on another dress. Is this not glorious? It's so good, man. It, like, you come on. Like, how can I really resist this? It gets better the more you look at it. Pink Kitty, you're knitting right now. Oh, how lovely. My grandmother knit quite a bit. Oh, she was so good at it. She would like watch TV while knitting. I'm guessing that's what you're doing right now. Just like watching TV while knitting. And then like her hands just like knew what they were doing. It's insane. Mount it on a flag. I could do that. Or a very large pillow would also work, right? This is like pillow material, right? Like I feel like it is. Yeah, it looks better the more you look at it. Like I just, come on. I can't resist it. It's just, it's not very breathable though, you know? Like I can feel my armpits kind of like, I'm sorry if this is TMI, but like, you know, like when you wear polyester and you can really feel your armpits being like, you know, I could really use a breather. Like that's how this feels. Is this the new Just Another Flutist Army flag? I mean, I'm okay with it. That musicianist. All right, let's see. Can I explain what gold and platinum head joints do to the sounds? You know gold adds warmth, but you never played platinum before. Okay, I'm just going to tell you my experience, okay? Platinum gives this kind of really unearthly focus to the sound. It's so hyper-focused and it's eerie, right? It's like to the point where like if you want to be able to control your tone color no matter the dynamic you're at, because normally I would say that on the flute you kind of end up conflating dynamics with tone color, right? So if you want something to sound soft, you actually kind of go for more of a hollow tone to achieve the soft effect. And then if you want something to sound louder, you kind of go for more of a like a reedy, filled out sound to give the effect of playing more loudly. Now on a platinum, and anything that has platinum in it, I've noticed I've been able to very easily control hollow to reedy no matter the dynamic. So I can get a kind of reedy, soft sound on platinum that I can't really get on other flutes. Now, do I want this? I've decided, no, that's not really my thing. Also, I've noticed that platinum kind of makes you play in a more sort of flat airstream. Like even putting a little bit of platinum in will kind of like flatten out your airstream a bit for it to work. And that's not really kind of the normal way that I play. But yeah, it's pretty eerie being able to go from hollow to reedy while still playing piano. It sounds quite unearthly. So that's what I would say. I hope that answers your question. That's my experience. Now other people will have different experiences, so please do not take what I say as that is the way platinum be. Please don't do that, okay? as we have established here, I'm just a normal, random person on the internet, okay? So please, if you have the chance, you know, try it for yourself so you kind of get what I mean by that. But that's my experience. Yeah. Well, fly this upside down if Discord is in distress. Oh, it's gotta be spam. Maybe what we should do is this cat over spam. Some tips on how not to be airy, Susanna. What are the reasons for being airy, my dear Susanna? You are asking a question that has many answers to it, depending on why you are airy, sounding airy, right? So it could be anything from hitting the lip hole at the wrong angle. The wrong angle can make you very airy. It could be that you are putting a wider airstream than your lip hole can take, and so you hear a lot of that fuzzy airiness. It could be that maybe your airstream is too tall for the instrument, and so you're hearing airiness from there. It could be maybe your sound, the airstream itself is just spreading outward rather than focusing down, right? There's a lot of reasons as to why you could be airy. So just kind of coming here on a stream and asking me why you're airy, my dear, I can't answer that. That's not how this works. You need a teacher to watch you play and figure out why you're airy. That there's no magic pill here for you. But those are some of the reasons that I can think of as to why one could be airy. Okay? Yeah. And that's not even all the reasons. By far, no, that's not all the reasons. Those are only some of the reasons. No magic pill for you here, guys. There's no magic pill. All right? I'm not a voodoo flute witch doctor. So, but yeah, so you guys, for those of you who are still talking about the platinum, yeah, my experience is that you have this crazy control of tone color, no matter the dynamic you're in. Like that, I find is kind of the thing that sticks with me the most about platinum. Yeah. Victorian reproduction needlework. Oh my goodness. Oh. What do I mean by earthly? So when I say unearthly, I'm meaning that it's a sound that sounds creepy. Why does it sound creepy? Is because it's not anything that you're really familiar with hearing. So hearing a very, very focused, soft sound on the flute sounds creepy because that's not what you expect. You expect it to sound a little bit hollow. So that's what I mean by that. Yeah. Hey, Darcy! How are you doing? You're here. Hey, Catherine! Thanks for joining us today, guys. Oh, man. There's no magic pill, but there's spam. Yeah. And cats in glasses with nose rings and a bow tie. That's what you can get here. Oh my gosh. So my stuffies, by the way, Pink Kitty, are upstairs. I still need to put them all through the dryer to just kind of not heat dry, but air dry them to knock off some dust. I still need to do that. I've been putting it off for so long. Let's see. Yeah. Exactly. Leon, yeah, you hit it right on the head. It's when I hit the extremely soft notes, but the body was still present. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You normally don't expect that in a flute, and so it sounds really creepy. You know, and I hadn't realized that until I tried the platinums. And then I actually went back to listen to my Monkey head joint video, and one of the Monkey head joints has platinum in it, and that was exactly the same thing I mentioned about that particular head joint, the one with the platinum. It was actually a bit of weird foreshadowing there, and I didn't even realize it. For that particular head joint, I was like, this is the king of tone color. You can do tone color like however you want. Now I realize it might not be so much the mix of metals as much as it's the addition of platinum that allows you to do that. That's my suspicion at the very least. Yeah. You keep missing the stream, Darcy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. This shirt is Hello Kitty after she's had her spam. Maybe. Does my husband still sing? Right now, well, like, you know, he sings for fun at home. But we have had to leave that, the chorus that he was a part of because we got too busy planning our wedding. So he actually left towards the beginning of wedding planning. So shortly after we were engaged. It was kind of a bummer, but at the same time, you only have 24 hours in a day and you're sleeping for about 8 of them. So we didn't really have a lot of time. And for those of you guys here who have planned a wedding before, I think you know what we mean by, like, you know, we really had to kind of streamline our activities so that we would have time to plan. Now some people here, I will preface this by saying that some people here think that it's ridiculous to be so stressed or work so hard to put on a party for other people when the wedding should just be about you two. But we don't see it that way. We see it as, you know, why are we together? How have we been brought together is through our communities, right? So you know, the people who brought us up, the people who, you know, drew us together, the people who accepted, you know, like my friends accepted John as one of their own, John's friends accepted me as one of their own. And so, like, our belief is that we are a direct product of our communities. And so why wouldn't you want to celebrate with those who are closest to you, who really watched your relationship blossom, right? People who we basically celebrated with a small number of people, small as in like 50 people, 50, 60 people, who, like, these were all people who we handpicked because we know that they were very close to us and supported our relationship throughout. And so this is kind of like the big party to celebrate not only us getting married, but also their support of us. So, you know, some people think that that's stupid. And you know what? If you think that, that's fine. But you also can't hate on someone else for seeing it a different way, right? Yeah. You were just admiring this. Sorry. I knew it. I knew that you guys would love this. Look, Darcy. Doesn't it get better the more you look at it? Isn't it great? Ah, freaking love it. Yeah. Yeah, like the celebration, like we didn't want to write off everyone who's been there to support us to get us to this point of being married to each other, right? Like, it is totally a cause of celebrating. It's a celebration of our community, you know? So, yeah. Same for you, Darcy. You were just going to have just the two of you, but then you guys thought about it and you wanted all our family there. Yeah, see? It's the family and the friends that you deem as family who really supported, you know, the blossoming of your relationship. Like, it just makes sense, right? Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Lemon Crush. I mean, like, I noticed, and the reason why I say this is because I noticed that I made an assumption that you guys knew why we spent so much time and energy planning our wedding. Um, like, I noticed that some of you guys didn't know that about why we did it. And there was a previous stream months ago now, earlier in the pandemic, where someone asked, like I was talking about the wedding, and then someone just kept spamming the chat with, you know, why do you want to be so stressed? Why do you want to be so stressed though? Like, the wedding is just for the two of you. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. Blah, blah, blah. And this person just kept spamming the chat, saying that, accusing me of, you know, spending too much time and energy and stress on planning a wedding. So, you know, like I could have just brushed it off, but I feel that it's worth explaining to you guys why we did things like, you know, withdraw from a chorus to make time to plan the wedding and stuff like that, right? Like, I think it's much better for you guys to know why we, you know, put our heart and soul into our wedding. It wasn't to show off. It was to really have this really lovely kind of family celebration of like, hey, we're joining into a bigger family, and the family includes like, you know, friends on John's side and friends on my side, and we're all coming together to be one big happy family, you know. I know, Magic Monkey G. It definitely was kind of weird to have someone be like, and the weirdest part was that I was already married by that point for over a year. And it was so weird to have someone like basically crap on me, on how we planned our wedding a year after being married. Like it was very strange. I'm not sure what that person wanted out of me. Like what was I going to say? I'm going to rewind time and just elope? I'm not sure what you're trying to get out of me, you know? It's so weird. Yeah, this was after we got married. This is like a year after we got married. Yeah. Batman-y. Yeah, we had a small wedding, but we actually did, how many events did we do? We did 3 events. We're supposed to have a 4th one, but we haven't been able to do that one yet because of the pandemic. So we had 50 people, about 50 to 60 people in one, about 50 to 60 people in another one. And the reason why we limited the number of people per event was so that we could actually go around and talk with people. Because when you have a wedding of about 150 or more, you can't really talk to everyone. It just kind of becomes this sort of like weird thing where they come and see you and, oh, hi, bye, and then that's it. Like there's no kind of meaningful conversation you can have with people. But with an event with like 50 to 60 people, you can have meaningful conversations with people. It's possible. We did it twice. And when you know, at first some people didn't really understand why we were splitting it into several events. But then once they were actually in the events themselves and they found themselves actually having a real conversation with us, they actually straight up told us like, we like your way of doing it. Because we, you know, they're like, we almost never get to talk to the bride and groom at a wedding. That's just not something you think you can do, right? And yet they got to at ours, right? Like how great was that? Now the 3rd event was a really big one. So that one was much more of like pomp and circumstance kind of thing. But that one, we still got to share our story. We got to share our dating story, and people really loved that. It was a lot more personal, and they could really get to know us. Because a lot of times you'll go to a wedding and you don't really get to know, like, if you're not very close to the couple, you don't even really know why you're there, you know? But like we got to tell our story, and I thought that was so nice. Do I have my red dress yet? Are you talking about like the Chinese one? Because I believe what I did was I wore my mother's banquet dress. Guys, it was so special. I got to wear my mom's, her wedding banquet dress as my red dress for our tea ceremony. It was so nice. Yeah. I know. Oh man, I do feel bad for weddings during COVID. I feel so bad. I'm still subscribed to wedding planning, like our wedding planning on Reddit. Oh, I feel so bad for these. But I do enjoy the funny non-save the dates, unsave the dates that people have been sending out. Some of them are really funny. Like some of them, they're really making the best of the situation. And like some of these people, top notch, man. I really like how they're dealing with it. Most people, I think, right now are doing a courthouse wedding, and then something over Zoom, and then they're planning for a big bash in like a year or two. That's what I'm noticing most people are doing right now. Yeah. Why would someone question my reasons for having a wedding? That doesn't affect them at all. Honestly, I feel like this person probably just wanted attention, or they have their own like PTSD. Maybe they have their own kind of weird experience with weddings and they're like, hell nah, right? So some people are kind of like that, right? Like maybe something bad happens to them to do with a certain type of event and then they write off those types of events forever, right? So it could be that too. And also maybe also wanted attention, you know. It's weird. The weirdest part was that this person was like they were so insistent as if I could rewind time and get eloped instead. Like, I'm not sure what you want out of me. That happened last year. Oh, Leon, thank you so much. It was, what's really funny is that I noticed that my mom and I share very similar tastes in dresses. So that dress ended up mimicking the same shape as my like reception dress, because I had a separate reception dress that was different from my wedding gown. And it was really interesting how the shape of my mother's banquet dress, like her reception dress, was the same as my reception dress. It was the same shape. How interesting, right? Like I felt that was so sweet. Imagine when Kichi, your brother just got married in May. It was just you, our parents, her parents, and the priest. Yeah, those like micro weddings, right? But there's something really sweet about micro weddings too, right? They're really intimate. Oh, they're so sweet too. I feel like no matter what type of wedding you have, or even if you get if you go and elope somewhere or something, I feel like any type of wedding has its beauty and charm and meaningfulness, right? Which is why I feel like you really can't crap on someone else's idea of a perfect wedding, right? You really can't, because everyone has a different reason for holding a wedding the way that they are. And it's all really beautiful if you like really listen to why someone wants to celebrate in a certain way. You gotta like, keep your minds open. Can't be too closed-minded about this stuff, Yeah. The silhouette that I'm talking about for that dress, by the way, is this sort of like the top half has kind of a cape look. So it's like a half cape, and then it's kind of like a flowy dress underneath. One, comfortable, very comfortable. You don't have to like suck in your gut or anything. You look really good. That's one thing. The other thing is it has that kind of like, has a little bit more movement to it. So it has kind of that very sort of like angelic look to it, which I really, really love. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What, Jody? After your wedding reception, all the bridesmaids and ushers went to see Star Wars. Oh, A New Hope. That's amazing. Oh, that's fantastic. Leon, getting married back in the 70s with all those bad clothes, you think you suffered from polyester poisoning? Oh no. crazy, man. That's true. I had a lot of polyester clothing in the 90s. Do you guys, like, you guys feel me? Wasn't there a lot of polyester in the 90s? Like, I feel like right now is sort of the age of, like, organic this and organic that, which is great. It's great. It breathes better. It's better for your skin, blah, blah, blah. But, like, that's why I'm not used to this anymore. This thing is polyester, and it's just my armpits are just like, let me breathe. Polyester wasn't pretty. Oh, Ariana, your husband and you had a small wedding in your home. Pastor, his best friend, your best friend, and your children. And your reception was a potluck in your kitchen. Oh my gosh, that sounds so sweet. Oh, that sounds amazing. I love, like, any sort of, like, really intimate feeling sort of wedding, you know, even if I'm not a part of it. For some reason, even just seeing photos of that kind of thing, because some people will post photos of their, like, really intimate wedding that is, you know, kind of the size of yours, and it just, like, it makes me tear up. Like, even just, like, looking at the photos of it, like, I don't even care that I wasn't invited, you know, like, it's just seeing that kind of joy and intimacy, and I don't know, it's just beautiful, you know. Hey Norma, you're a flutist in high school. Welcome. You doing okay right now? Are you guys doing everything over Zoom? Like, you know, band stuff and stuff like that? I know, like, different schools are doing it in different ways. Some people are kind of going more the educational route where they're, like, teaching more music history and music theory. Some people are getting creative with, you know, having you guys play but with a recording of a full band, so you feel like you're in band. Like, it is different band teachers are doing it in different ways, I'm seeing. Yeah. Luke, how do you know BD? You gotta tell me, Luke. You can't drop my friend's name like that and not tell me how you know her too. How do you know her? Is she your teacher? Oh my gosh, you can't drop a name like that and not tell me how you know her. Oh, you guys are using Microsoft Teams. She's your band director? Oh my gosh. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's amazing. So when I was in my master's in SF State, I believe she was a freshman. I think she was a freshman in for her bachelor's, I think. And we had some great times together. I also helped her pick out a flute. And we had some one-on-one sessions together too, where I, like, helped her with, you know, random music things. It's amazing to hear that she's your band director now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. Yeah, I was her section leader. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Well, let her know I said hi. I'm also going to poke her on Facebook. Isn't she great? She has such a kind heart. I think that's what I told her to, like, at least I feel like I told her this, that, you know, she'll go far because she is just so kind and friendly. And from what I heard and what I saw after I left San Francisco State after I graduated, I noticed, at least from the pictures I could see, that she really took care of her section too, because she eventually became section leader too. She's crazy spunky, very supportive. That's Beatty. That sounds like Beatty to me. Oh, that's amazing. She replaced your fairly abusive band director, who she had too. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so happy. That makes me so happy. I'm like almost tearing. I'm tearing up right now. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I helped her pick out her flute. Yep. Oh, she's amazing. Oh, dang. Oh, she's amazing. She is she has this light about her that just, I feel that I saw that light very early on. And when she came in, she was a freshman, and I think, I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but she was quite a bit more shy than what it sounds like she is now, and I'm so glad she's blossomed. I knew it when I saw it, man. She had that potential. I knew it. Oh my gosh. Thank you for telling me. This just made my day. Yeah, it really is really nice when your circle comes around and spreads all the warmth which you generate. Oh my gosh, that's how I feel right now. Holy crap. Oh my god. I'm just... Oh my god. Oh my god. That's amazing. She's a beautiful person. And she was quite shy when we met, but I could see her potential. So I wanted her to know that, I believed in her, and that, but at the same time, I wasn't trying to force her, out of her shell too. So I wanted to make sure that she, always knew that kindness is really going to get you far, right? What I always tell people who are a few years behind me, at least this is what I did when I was in school, because I kind of said the same thing to another person back when I was in my last year of my bachelor's. There was a freshman who came in who was kind of a similar sort of personality, and was kind of pretty shy in the beginning, but I told her, hey, school's gonna go by really quick. Before you know it, you're gonna be a senior in your bachelor's, and you're gonna feel like you're still a freshman. And just so you know, that feeling doesn't go away. The feeling that you're still a student, the feeling that you're still learning, it doesn't go away. And because now that I've told you it doesn't go away, you need to embrace it. Embrace the feeling of not feeling like you know everything, and being excited to learn things with people, and excited to learn things with people who you're leading. And if you want to guide someone to be a better person, kindness is the way to go. You need to encourage people. You need to tell them what they're good at, not just what they can improve. Tell people you need to be confident in yourself, in the idea that you know who you are, you're okay with who you are, and yet you also want to keep improving. So I did have this talk with her. She's, I think, the second person that I've had this talk with before. Yeah. And yeah. So it's, she said she used to be really self-conscious about her playing and jealous of everyone else's ability. And she said that I really helped her gain her confidence. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's what I wanted for her. That's what I wanted for her. Like, I wanted her to know that you cannot it's unfair to yourself to compare yourself with other people. It's very unfair to yourself. You are on your own journey, and that journey cannot be compared to anyone else's, because no one else is going to have the journey that you're on. And I'm just so glad she took that and embraced it. Oh, man. Oh, no, Leon, you just got an evacuation notice. No, wait, can be about 25 miles from Portland. Oh, no. So not you, but 25 miles away from you. Oh, stay safe, man. Oh, man. Darla, you decided to get back into playing the flute, and now you're here instead of practicing. My dear Darla, you are with the right crowd. I mean, you look at me. I'm not practicing either. I have my flute out. It's there. But we're practicing later. In like half an hour. You're gonna drive down to pick up some friends? Oh man, stay safe, man. Stay safe. And I'm so glad that you're helping out your friends. Yeah. Stay safe, man. Oh my goodness, that is really scary. Yeah. Oh. Oh man. Oh, Luke. Yeah, we're all practicing later. Yeah, exactly. So Darla, you're like, you are with your people. Don't worry about it. We here embrace the concept of procrastination. Okay, is when you are practicing something else, but you're actually procrastinating. It's when you are procrastinating practicing something by practicing something else. I guess in this case, we're not necessarily practicing anything else, but we are talking about, life and stuff like that. But are we going to practice later? Norma is asking. I mean, I hope. Fib and a chickpea. It's okay to feel like you don't want to practice at all on a given day. There's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of people feel shame and guilt over it. But no, it's fine. It's okay. It's a very normal feeling to have. You're not crazy. You can still love the flute and not want to practice it, on certain days. It's totally normal, right? Like, you can love a thing and just not want to do it every single day. It's okay. Like, I feel like there's a lot of shame around that is very unnecessary. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to close off the thing with BD. So Luke, thank you so much for telling me. Dang, that makes my day. Because in the moment when you are helping these people and when you're talking to these people and you are, you're reassuring them that they are loved, that they are welcomed, that their abilities are appreciated, that their potential is recognized. When you're telling these people, I see you, I hear you, right? In that moment, they're not going to blossom right in front of your face in like 10 seconds, okay? It takes a long time. Like, I think BD probably worked on herself so much to get to where she is. And like, I have the honor of being part of that journey with her. And it's just amazing to hear years later that it had a positive effect on them. So thank you so much for telling me. Man, that makes my day. Holy. I'm gonna go poke her on Facebook. What would be a good beginner pick? Darla is asking. Darla, you are definitely with your people. I love that you are asking everyone's opinion. This is fantastic. Yes, you are. I think, Darla, you might enjoy how we're like over on Twitch. So if you're not sick of me, after another 14 minutes or so of this, I'm actually going to be on Twitch twitch.tv/justanotherflutist. Okay, here. Let me write this out for you guys. All right. Text, we'll do Twitch. We're gonna do twitch.tv/justanotherflutist. There you go. Select font. I like Calibri. Is that how you say it? Calibri. And then we'll make this like, I don't know, 100. Size 100. We'll do, let's see. Let's put an outline. Let's make the outline black. And we will increase it. Okay, there we go. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll place it down here, and then boom. There we go. Come find me there. I'll be there at 4 p.m. my time right now, like in less than half an hour. Just another flautist. Come on, you have to pronounce it that way. You can't just be like just another flautist. You know, you can't say that. You can't say flautist or flautist without sounding bougie. You can't, man. Like, you, come on. Aldo Fern, you haven't touched your flute in months. Last thing you did was playing online to a recording of Die Valkyrie. Wow, that's a big piece to play along to. I'm glad you're here though. If you want to see me practicing, I'm doing this in less than half an hour. So I'll be right here on twitch.tv/justanotherflautist. Just another flautist. I'm sorry, that's bad. No, I shouldn't do that. Oh God. What's up with the Just Another Flautist on Twitch? Okay, you guys want full saga? Okay, so some of you guys don't know this saga. Okay, now let's rewind back to my master's graduation recital. I wanted to live stream it to my subscribers, but YouTube did not have a live streaming thing back then. So I did it via justin.tv, which does not exist now because eventually Twitch bought them. So Twitch took over justin.tv. I had Just Another Flutist on justin.tv. And then I proceeded to lose the password, so I could no longer access that one. So I created a different account named Juxt Another Flutist, Juxt Another Flutist. So I used that to stream my master's graduation recital from my laptop. So some of my subscribers got to watch my master's graduation recital live, and I got permission from the school to do this. So I did it then, and then after a while, like I didn't stream regularly or anything. So after a while, Twitch bought justin.tv. I did not know they did that. And then, so now, Just Another Flutist on Twitch is actually a dead channel because it was created during justin.tv. And I have no password to that. There's no way for me to access that channel. I don't think I can access Juxt Another Flutist either. So I decided to just create Just Another Flautist, and just, you know, because I was going to be primarily playing on Just Another Flautist, that kind of made sense because my side channel on YouTube is Just Another Flautist, which is my performance channel. But I've kind of stopped posting there because YouTube axed the ad revenue from that channel because I don't have enough views and I don't have enough subscribers on that channel. So they completely axed the ad revenue from there. So I don't make money off of Just Another Flautist on YouTube anymore, but it was my side channel. So I decided that since on Twitch I will be primarily playing stuff, practicing, it made sense to call it Just Another Flautist. The end. That's why it's Just Another Flautist. Yeah. So I've actually been on Twitch since before Twitch bought justin.tv. There you go. She plays the flute. I love it. Flutist. She plays the flute. Yes. Oh, Oriana, thank you so much, but that's not necessary. Let's see. You play in a symphony orchestra locally, and obviously you're on an indefinite hiatus. You miss it so much. Oh, I feel you, Aldo. It sucks. It really sucks right now. And like flute playing right now is, someone actually just asked me if I would, like someone that I know locally asked me if I would be willing to teach her daughter the flutes in person, and I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with it, because right now studies have shown that the flute is essentially a megaphone for your spit. Okay, for your spit, it's like a megaphone for aerosolizing your spit. It's just going everywhere. Okay, if you have open holes, you actually can feel the air against your fingers. So it's essentially, it's like you going like that on yourself. Okay, and then you're like touching everything. And then like air comes out the end of the flute with a lot of force. It comes out all the keys that are open with, you know, so it's like, it's literally just a megaphone for aerosolizing your spit. So I was just like, nah, I can't. So, you know, like if you can't do that, like you obviously can't do the symphony thing either. Yeah. You've been subscribed to my channel for several years, Aldo. I am so glad that you have joined us here now that I can talk to you directly. Isn't this nice? This is why I like live streaming, because I get to actually talk to you guys like directly and not like wait for your comments and stuff like that. Like this is a lot more direct, and I feel like you guys get a lot more of like the real me from doing this. Your best friend is also a flutist, gone totally online for lessons. Yeah. Now, lucky for me, I actually already have been 100% online for 6 years now. So I kind of got used to it a lot sooner before everyone else did. Yeah, it's a weird time right now. It is definitely a weird time. For flutes, you have to stay 13 feet apart. I hear it's actually legit something like that, if not more. People are treating as if the COVID crisis has ended already. I know, man. It like, I'm just like, you know, they did offer to test themselves for COVID before having lessons with me. And I was like, no, I'm not comfortable. Because one, I would have to test myself too. I'm not about to do that, man. I can't commit to that. I cannot. Like I have to, like this is a boundary issue now for me. And I just have to say no. You have to learn to say no, guys. Yeah. Imagine Monkey, you're shocked to see some theaters opening in Europe for opera performances. Oh, good Lord, no, you can't. Also, with all the costume changes backstage, they just kind of like, everyone is just all over each other. Good Lord. Death by spit, basically, Darla. Basically. When people thought flute was a weak person instrument, but here we are with the ability to kill people by the masses. Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm. Like the flute is, out of all of the orchestral instruments, the flute is the worst one in this time. Absolutely the worst one. 100%. So that's why I'm just like, you know, even if I do eventually decide to give like here and there a one-off in-person lesson, that ain't happening until well after the vaccine is out. Well after. Like I am not even, you know, I'm not testing the waters here. Ugh. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard the test isn't painful. I just don't want to test myself every single time I give this child a lesson. That, and also my my style of teaching is actually not very suited towards children. I've been basically conditioned by my online lessons now to teach in a much more kind of like college university style. I doubt that I can teach children well now. I have a friend who can teach children well. She's very good with kids. So I'm like, yo, if you're a kid, probably want to go with her. You know, you got to share students, man. You can't hog all the students. You got to share students. Like you need to work together, like with your flute friends and stuff like that. It's not a competition. You can't have every student in the world. Trumpet second, perhaps. You know, worst in the orchestra for pandemic reasons. I don't know. I mean, the spit is pretty bad, but the thing is, every single brass instrument has a spit valve. Like I wouldn't single out the trumpeters. We're all bad. How do I start an online studio? You have students who don't want to try online. Here's the thing. I'm spoiled. For the people who don't want to try online, they just never apply to my studio. I never see them. I never talk to them. Okay? So I'm spoiled in that way, where I don't have to convince people to try Skype lessons. They come to me and they already want it by the time they apply. So how do you start one? I started mine quite accidentally. I had a mom who watched my videos with her daughter, and she was like, she sent me an email cold and was like, hey, do you offer Skype lessons? And then I never told her this. I really should tell her this, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, okay? I didn't have a job. I had tried to, at that point I was at my wit's end because I emailed all the schools in my area to see if I could do some sort of show and tell type of thing and sort of market myself as like someone who could help out with band, or like like a free show and tell, like I wasn't even going to make them pay me or anything. Like I just wanted a free show and tell, and then maybe I could pass out some information for these kids to take back to their parents, and then they could take lessons with me. I didn't get a single reply. Not a single reply. So I was at my wit's end. And then there's this mom just over the internet, like basically throwing money at me and being like, will you teach my daughter? And I'm like, so I gave myself, I actually went back and looked. I gave myself 3 days and I whipped up this really quick, like 1 or 2 page, like, just another flutist studio, rules and regulations, and blah, 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 and how it works. I whipped it up in 3 days, replied and said, oh, why, yes, I do offer online lessons. Yeah. And I fell into it with that. So that student studied with me for a year before I officially launched my online lessons, before I made it public, because there was a lot to work out. Like, how do payments work? How do I receive payments? How often do I receive payments? How do I charge them? What's the frequency? Do I charge? Do I make them pay every lesson? Do I make them pay once a month? And then after a lot of experimentation was when I figured out, like, the easiest way to do it online is, 1, sign up for a business PayPal, right? A business PayPal account so that you can send out invoices. And then the other thing was, because the invoices look a lot more, they're official, right? And like PayPal actually has this feature where you can set up auto reminders for your students now, for your clients now. I think they didn't have it before, but I noticed, I just set it up this week because I noticed that they gave me a little like hint. They're like, you can set up like, recurring reminders. And I was like, hell yeah. So I did that. And so it's really nice because essentially the invoice helps you chase down the money for you. And then, like I had to work out all of that. Like, when do I receive payment? What are my rules? What types of things can possibly happen in an online lesson that I have to make a rule about? So it took me like a year to figure that out. And then finally came out with what you now see on my website, for how the rules and stuff like that. Now, if you are a teacher, I have straight up told teachers this: go ahead and copy my lesson rules and my payment type, like how my payments work. Copy it. You can copy it. Now, for every person out there, every teacher out there, they run their studios a little bit differently. But at the very least, if you don't know where to start with mine, okay? You can, and then adjust my rules and adjust my payment plans to what actually works for you and your students. You will find that you will need to make some adjustments. My way works for me, but it might not work for you 100%, but maybe 60%, you know? Like, yeah, at the very least, it might give you a place to start. So I've told this to other people as well. Just go on, copy it. Just copy it. Yeah. Like Mary Poppins, I'll give you 2 weeks. I'll know by then. Yeah. Yeah. So, oh, Aldo, thank you so much for saying that I seem like a genuine person. I want to be for my own mental health. It is not good for your mental health to constantly be stroking your ego and to like present a fake person of yourself or fake persona. It's really not good for your mental health. So for my own mental health, I'm trying to be as real and raw as possible with you guys. Yeah. 60% is a great start, right, Elizabeth? Yeah, so just go to my thing, copy it, okay? You're not going to feel that all of it is going to work for you, and it's not meant to, okay? Because you're not me, I'm not you. I mean, of course it's not going to work, 100% for you. But, yeah, 60%, right? 60%. Like, at least you got somewhere to start, It's their public for a reason. I really do want to help you guys out, too. So, copy it. You have my permission. Yeah. I need to go, guys, but I will answer just a few more questions quickly. Does that sound good? Let's see. What advice? There we go. What advice would I give when choosing university where you want to major in music? Okay. I did not actually say this in how not to apply for music school. So visit the school and take a lesson with the professor. Those are the two most important things, okay? If you do not vibe with the school, you're gonna have a bad time. If you don't vibe with the professor, you're also gonna have a bad time. Those are my two things. Notice that this is more relationship based, right? Because what is actually going to make it sustainable for you to stay at that school for the entirety of your degree? It's the fact that you vibe with the people there. All right? A lot of times it's those interpersonal relationships. If they don't work, it burns you out. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you take care as well, Aldo. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to switch on over to twitch.tv/JustinTheFlautist. So please join us over there if you're not sick of me yet. We will start the stream by finishing off my tea for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. And then we will continue stitching the last few pages of the Iber third movement together. I want to thank you all for having such a wonderful conversation with me about such a huge variety of topics. This is fantastic. Quite honestly, for me, this is also a bit of a vacation for me from kind of the normal, pretty high stakes sight reading stuff. I do want to do that again, but I'm just too tired to do it this month. So I will not have a stream here next week because I am taking the week off. And then maybe starting the week after that, I might end up switching to about every other week to do this stream here. And it's only because I really need to open up at least every other Thursday to do a lesson, to do lessons with other people. I can fit in 3 more hours of lessons, 2 more hours, at least 2 more hours. So it just kind of makes sense, right? Anyway. I love y'all so very, very much. You're working on this one too, Elizabeth, for concerto competition? My dear, it is the one to work on for concerto competitions. If you want to see me struggling with it, join me over on Twitch right now. Okay? All right. I will see you guys either in a little bit on Twitch or in 2 weeks. All right? See you guys later. I love y'all so very much. You guys are all so sweet. Laters. Bye.